in partnership with CommSec.
One of the great things, the many great things about returning to work is that I get to talk to Tom Piotrowski over at CommSec. I've been away for 4 weeks and I've longed to see him and talk to him again. And here you are, Tom. You are music to my eyes.
That's probably the most flattering review that I will enjoy for some time, Pete. And the affection is reciprocated fully.
Beautiful. What a bromance we have. How are our markets looking today?
They're in reasonable shape, Pete. The futures are pointing to an improvement of about 1/3% for the ASX 200, and that comes on the heels of what was a very constructive Northern Hemisphere session, not only in the final analysis on Friday for the US markets, but really for the entire week as far as Wall Street was concerned. Those markets were able to notch up their best weekly improvement since the US election. So in the case of the Dow Jones, it was up by 3.7%. The S&P 500 was up by almost 3%. So quite a groundswell of optimism at the moment. Whether you look at the economy, we've seen encouraging economic news last week. The corporate earnings in particular stood out last week, Pete. The bank stocks roared ahead. The KBW Bank Index over the course of last week was up by more than 8%. And then, of course, it's impossible to ignore the influence of the Trump 2.0 aspect of things. So there is a lot of anticipation about how the policy landscape is going to take shape over the first 100 days of the Trump administration. So that is garnering a lot of, I suppose, optimism as well. So that's all yet to play out. And today is really the starting gun. I suppose the next 24 hours will be the starting gun on that front. There was mention of Glencore and Rio in one of your headlines there. So this is a big potential transaction. So that will galvanize sentiment around the resource sector, which did quite well in the Northern Hemisphere on Friday. So it's a question to what extent that flows over to the local market today. The Aussie dollar is trading at 61.9 US cents.
Good to see you, Tom Piotrowski. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you in a few hours.